What up, everyone? This is Anthony Goodson alongside my co-host, Yashika.
Hey.
Actually, I should have let Ace do that. And Ace, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Hey, man, we're doing pretty good, man. It's honor and a pleasure to be here with such a fine group of people.
Amen to that.
Amen to that, absolutely. Tonight, we got a very interesting show. We don't have a whole lot to talk about, so audience, we're going to need your participation tonight because I've been on vacation. I just got back from Beverly Hills, y'all. Ever been to Beverly Hills?
Yeah, time or two.
No, I haven't.
I used to have some country cousins that got lucky with some oil and moved out there. I used to come visit them in the summertime. My white side of the family, they used to stay with my granny.
No, I think I heard of that.
Yeah.
I recall it.
Well, was it your cousin Jed?
Yeah, Jed is my uncle. You know, you met him before.
Let me tell you something. Y'all, I went to Beverly Hills, California. This is my first time to Beverly Hills. I've been to California many a times, but this is my first time ever going to Hollywood and Beverly Hills.
Hey.
Y'all, if you think you broke now, go to Beverly Hills.
So they're going to show you how to do it, huh?
A personal friend of mine called me one day and asked me, she said, actually it was yesterday. She asked me yesterday, what is nicer, Beverly Hills or Highland Park in Dallas? And there's no comparison. It's like saying what's nicer, Highland Park or South Dallas. I mean, it's a world of difference. It's a world. Beverly Hills, by far, has got it. Now, anyway, tonight we got a very interesting show. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to click that share button. Ace, you're missing it. What do they need to do?
Matter of fact, share this page, but we also need you guys to go to YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to make this thing be big and better for you guys, and we have opportunity to do that now with our Hollywood connections. We just need a little push from you guys.
Yeah.
So before we get started on the show today, which we got a little to talk about, Ace got a few topics, and we also want to kind of touch a little bit of this Deion Sanders stuff. I want to tell y'all something that kind of happened today. I think it was today. That was really, really funny. I actually got footage. I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's go.
Come on.
You didn't see it? Here it goes again. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's Ace. Today when he got chased by a dog. Tell us about it, Ace.
Well, yesterday I'm out trying to give me a little exercise in, you know, just relaxing at my son's school while he was at a game. And I'm good for like about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm getting a good walking the perimeter. And all of a sudden, we have a curless dog owner walking her dog without a leash. And he came after the Ace. But I have to let everybody know, I still got them jets on me, baby. Hey, look here. It was no contest. Dusted the dog, and I had to hop a fence all in one. So workout was over. I think that was cardio. That was resistance training. That was plyometrics all in one.
Hey, you're lucky that wasn't a heart attack.
The heart attack when I looked, because they were real far off, and the dog saw me from afar. He turned like, "Is that Ace?" And he was coming, and so at first I didn't think he was gonna come all the way. And I'm looking, I'm like, "Oh man, you know he gonna come." That was the heart attack time there, because I turned around, there was nothing but open field, and I had to find somewhere. I was like, "Feet don't fail me now."
That's the good stuff. Ace was chased by a dog. I had been chased by a dog since
What happened at the end?
Huh?
What happened at the end though? How did it end?
Oh, I jumped. I cleared the fence.
The video stopped. So how did it end?
Oh, I cleared the fence, and the dog was all mad and stuff. Now I do tell you, I had some choice words for the owner. Her self-esteem is probably pretty low right now.
Oh, that's funny. Funny story. All right. So this is our topic today, or one of the things we're going to be talking about today. So, do you feel that you are obligated to support your friends or family if they start or have a business? Given that it's time for Christmas, or we're getting into the Christmas season, and now it's the season of giving. A lot of people are starting their own businesses. We see a lot of people on Amazon who have this drop shipping stuff and all these things going on, but you may actually know someone who's have their own business. So the question is, do you feel that you are obligated to support your friends or family if they start or have a business? If you are a business owner, do you feel that you are obligated to have their support? I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and start with this, and then we'll jump. Actually, first, let's go into the comments. I think we got a couple of hellos. Somebody said, "What's that?" Oh, that must be I'm not sure. Leonard, what up, Leonard?
My man, Leonard McDonald.
All right, now question of the day is.
Wait, we can't skip over the last comment. I think that's Janika. I think she changed her name, like her. She changed her to Am. That's it. That's how she put it.
I saw it. Nope, not obligated. Someone says. Now, who is this? This is Leonard. Not that's obligated. And it's funny coming from somebody who's actually a business owner. All right. Good evening, everyone. Hey, how you doing, Miss Deborah Collette? Which is, of course, your mom. All right. So, do you feel like you're obligated to support your friends if they start a business? Let's jump into it.
No, you're not. I don't think that you're obligated to. Now, I think it's a good idea. It was like he's supporting us right now. I think it's a good idea and it's a good gesture.
Hold on, somebody has feedback. Let me see if I can work that out. I think it's Yashika. I think I got it. No, sorry, go ahead.
Check. Don't y'all hate when they do that? It'd be the musician that can't really sing, but think he all that. Check one, check. Like, sing the song. You got me over. But no, I don't feel that you. I don't feel that you're obligated, but I think it's a good gesture. But I don't feel like you're obligated.
You know what? I think you're obligated. I really do. I feel like if you start a business, if I start a business, the three people who are on here, Eric Ace and Yashika, you guys have to come support me. Now, here's the problem, especially in black business. Me and my mom was talking about this the other day. In black business, you don't have the same resources that, other people may have. Okay. So like if I go out and start a business and I'm trying to compete with Walmart, first of all, when I start my business, I'm probably buying a lot of my stuff from a Walmart or a Sam's at the price that they selling it at. And then I have to take it to my location and sell it at that price and then above. So you already know mine is going to be a little bit more expensive than theirs, right? So that's the issue that I have. I mean, we have to understand where the resource is. We have to get it from where Walmart gets it from. And I'm pretty sure if you start doing some digging, this is where we kind of fail. That they will sell it to you at those retail prices or wholesale prices. So, and then you can go sell it at your own retail price, which now you can be somewhat competitive. I think it's necessary for us to understand that as consumers and our friends are starting something, but I think it's also necessary for us as business owners to know that as our friends, as we start this business and we try to sell something. Eric, what do you think? Do you feel that you are obligated to support your friends or family if they start a business? But before you jump in, let me go to the comments. But if you're going to tip strangers, you should probably not ask for discounts from people you have a relationship with. I'm not sure who said that, but that is a great point.
Yeah, that was Leonard.
Leonard. Also, yeah. I'm always going to support family and friends if they're running their own business in a reputable way. I love it. I love it, Eric.
And I feel like, oh, go ahead, E.
Now you got something to say.
I'll support you in your comment.
All right. So, I think you should be obligated. I don't think we as a black people are at the point where we are going to be supportive as like a severe, significant obligation for each other, right? So, like it's kind of what Ace said at this point. It's kind of like it would be good for everybody to do it, but at some point, it would be great to have that support already intact. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much expect it. We can't really expect it right now. I read something the other day where it said that you get most of your support from people you don't know, especially in the black business world. That's just how it's set up right now, unfortunately, because we don't support each other. But part of it is because what you said too, Anthony, is because the prices may be a little bit less competitive than other people. Maybe the customer service may not be up to par. Or maybe you just don't want to do it because it's a quote unquote black owned business. There's some negative connotation that goes along with black owned business sometimes too. So I think that it's we have to be intentionality behind actually supporting each other, but get to the point where we can do that though.
Yeah, I think the interesting part about that is I've said this before. I've said it to you guys both before. Like Walmart, Target, all the big companies, they've already done all the research for you. They've done the customer service research for you. So when you start a small business, you don't have to do all that research. All you have to do is just follow what they've already done. I mean, you can go to Google and find out what makes good customer service. For example, when I was in high school, all those years ago, 25, 30 years ago, I'm in high school. And when I worked at the grocery store, they used to say, memorize these people's names. And when they walk in this building, what you do is say, hey, Mr. Johnson, and make them feel like home. That's a simple gesture. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's one thing that you miss out on. I won't say black businesses, because the question is not directed towards black people. It's directed towards your friends if they start a business. So what you have to do is just like your friend walk in the business, make them feel good as a consumer, not good as your friend. After 5 o'clock or after you close, now that's your friend again.
That's important. And I think that's the key factor people miss, because like I was saying, I don't feel that you obligated, but I feel like how can I say it? I have a power washing business, right? You're not obligated to support me, but if you're gonna get something power washed, I feel like you should be calling me.
That's a good point. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you off mute. I know you have something to say. I think everybody else have to mute their stuff. So
she like the South at the 95 South Award. Like you got something to say.
I feel like I think it pulls at my heartstrings. So I feel like I'm obligated. I don't know if it's a female thing. I know we tend to be more emotional and stuff, but it pulls at my heartstrings. So even if it's something I don't like, I'll buy like the cheapest. What's the cheapest thing that you got? I'll buy that. So yeah, I kind of feel like I am.
Yeah, and you know what? That's support. Support in the best way that you can. And I heard somebody say this the other day. Support is not always you spending money. You may not have the money. You know, like Damon Dugan, by the way, he said that's 100. Thank you, Damon, for watching. Damon Dugan, he owns it, and put your information in there. Iconic, of course. You know, a lot of people are watching from Sulphur Springs, but that's the name of his car dealership in Sulphur Springs. He has a car. You know, you may not need a car. You may not even have the money to buy a car. What you can do is post something on your Facebook page about Iconic.
Right.
So that's something you can simply do. That's support, if you ask me. You know, and I think that we get the wrong idea when we think about support, and we certainly don't. We get the wrong attitude when we think about the results of what support does. You know, and that's the crab in the barrel. And we're not talking about color barrier or anything. We're talking about friendship. If my friend starts something and my friend is now going to elevate past me because they got a really good idea, would I support them in any kind of way? Because I know where they're going to be versus where I am right now, and I'm not putting forth the work, nor do I have the idea.
So I think you bring up a really good point: financial versus like moral, or just support with coming up with ideas or whatever case may be, right? Because I know a person that that was a real estate agent before, and I won't really get into a whole lot of detail in regards to who this person is, but they had another friend that was interested in buying a house or property or whatever, and because they were new, and this is kind of where it gets kind of iffy to me sometimes, because they're new, the other person didn't want them to be their real estate agent because they want somebody to live more experience, right? So in real estate, you're not necessarily your own business owner, but you kind of are. So in those situations like that, I think there should be some buffers there.
Oh, my bad.
That's all good. Some buffer there, right? Because I think when it comes to certain things, you need to be knowledgeable about and be sure about what you're doing, right? So if I don't know that you're doing that in that particular, it has the expertise in that particular genre or whatever case may be, then I might not go with you initially. But my goal would be to support you, but maybe not this time. Let me get somebody else first. But that's just me. But I'm definitely going to support you. Like, I might tell you, hey, this person is doing this, this, and this, but I might not go to you myself initially because I need somebody who has experience, especially when I'm trying to sell a house and buy a house, all this stuff at the same time, whatever case it might be, right? So I think it definitely depends on the circumstances around it as well.
Yeah, you can't be a fool now because you know your friends.
Let's go to the comments, because I believe this individual who left this comment, now that we got serious into the conversation, has changed his answer. Leonard, I'm not going to bust you out like that and say your name. Everyone I know, but I don't have the expectation for people to have the same way of thinking that I do. If they do, that's great, but I can't go as far as obligated. All right, so breaking down the word obligated, I guess that means you have to, right? You have to. And I think just like what Eric said, the interesting part about it is, it's just like, even though we're friends and we might be best friends, But if you're looking for a job and somebody else is looking to hire someone, if you're not qualified for the job, or if I can't put my name out on the line for you, even though you need money, you got a family, all this stuff, I may not be able to refer you over to that person. I don't feel obligated because you have not proven yourself to me that you can handle, my name being on your as a reference. So I think when you look at business, it's almost similar to that. 98% of the time, I'm probably gonna, support you. However, if you, I don't want to start because this person may be watching, but I know an individual who has a business and this person is not professional. They say his product is great, but they say he's I know he's totally unprofessional.
So it is a male.
I said he sent to throw you off scent.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it's a male. Hey, go check out Damon Dugan. He's at www.iass. I think I said 3stext.com. It's on your screen if you didn't see it.
And just to be clear, we're not saying Damon is the one unprofessional, by the way.
No. Damon's not the one. We made that for him a long time ago. There we go. All right. So, Yashika, I'm going to unmute you. I know you got something to say.
All right now.
Yeah. When we were talking about obligation, and this is a friend, right? So for me, I love. What did he say? What did you say? I love my friends, right? Now, if you're my friend, like I'm not ride or die. You can't hear me? You don't hear me?
We okay. All muted, so you can.
I'm not ride or die. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, am I talking to myself? But I'm kind of like that ride or die. So in obligation, that makes somebody said it, I don't know which one said it, but I'm a big referral source too. So I would refer a lot of people there. If I didn't want to buy it or if the product didn't work for me, I know somebody that it would work for. I would make sure that they know about my friend's business. Now, if they're unprofessional, then I'm like, you, Anthony, I'm not putting out my name on that. Because that comes back on me.
Ironically, she says she's a big referral source. She works in the health industry with me. She has referred quite a bit to me, and then my company go and mess it up. So now all of a sudden now you can't support them in the same way that you wanted to support them before. So that's a whole different story.
I could use 1 or 2 of those referrals.
I shouldn't have said anything at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on that part right there. That was a lot of fun. Damon Dugan, we want to get you some cars sold. He said, no, it ain't me. All right.
We're trying to do process of elimination.
Moving right along. Deion Sanders, y'all. He came into this college football world, with a lot of ridicule. He left the HBCU, Jackson State, and he was very successful. We saw him take a 1 or 2 win team to like an undefeated season last year. Then he got this big deal with y'all know all the hoopla around that with Colorado, and this year he's with Colorado. I myself thought he'd go 3 wins at best. At best, like I was thinking maybe 2, 3 wins at best. Deion Sanders, he's now 2-0, no losses against 2 teams. There's no way in this world I thought he would be, including the last year the team who was a runner-up for the national championship, which was TCU. So this individual has been successful. It appears his whole life through college, through the pros, baseball, football, even high school basketball. He was an all-stater, and now he's doing it as a college football coach. The hoopla is up there, but do y'all think we've overhyped him just yet, or are y'all believers in what Deion Sanders is pushing?
You got to be a believer. He's doing it. Even if they don't win another, if they don't win another game this year, he's already took the team better than where they were last year. So you got to believe everything he said he was going to do, he did. It's crazy. Just as a culture. Everybody was mad at him because he left the HBCU, but nobody was mad at the HBCU for treating him unfairly and not holding up to their end of the bargain, and just basically messing over him. It's like they wanted him to suffer for the culture instead of you taking a man and you hyping him up for the culture and supporting him. You rather him sit and suffer for the culture just to say we got him. So I'm believing him. I think it's hope. I don't think it's hype. I think it's hope.
Deion Sanders. Damon Dugan says the Cowboys are next, by the way. We'll see. All right. Comment says, mark my words, Deion Sanders will be a coach in the NFL within the next 5 years. I'm not sure who said that.
That's Janika.
Well, they say Deion does not want to coach in NFL. He said that to a couple people like that's in the media right now.
Yeah,
recently.
I heard him say it a few times.
And kind of leads to what I was going to say about Deion in the first place. In my first place, like I'm with the hope piece as well, because Deion, his main focus. I mean, yeah, he went to HBCU, and I think that definitely did something for the culture, and I think it's something he'll continue to do. If you look at the roster at Colorado, it's pretty heavy. Look like me, you, and Ace on that team now, right? So,
Right.
but there's other ethnicities on there as well, and races, right? So, I think Dion's big thing is he wants to be a mentor among men.
I'm not real sure what that.
Among young men.
I want you to explain, but I can't let you go without saying me, you, and Ace. What does that mean?
Well,
they got black uniforms. They wear black jerseys.
With the context of having other ethnicities and races, hopefully you would pick that up, but you didn't, so I'll be more clear about it.
Okay.
There's more black people on Colorado's team that has been in the past, God knows how many years.
Yeah,
right?
just militant. That's that shirt he wearing got him like that.
So, but the thing about it is, like I said, he wants to be a mentor among young men and kids, right? So that's what his mission was at the HBCU Jackson State. It's what it is now, and I think it's what it continue to be, because he said that's his ministry right now. He feel like that's his ministry, so that's where he's going to be at. And anybody that wants to help young people to get to to reach their goals, that's got to be hope.
Someone said he got the best coaching / mentor staff. I think that comment, I'm not sure who said it, but it's the perfect comment, simply because I think he's able to mold young men. What we got to remember is these college football players, they're still young men. They're old boys or young men, however you want to look at it. And Deion is able to go in there and he knows how to motivate these people. It's just the most amazing thing to see how he does it, because he does it with an overwhelming amount of confidence that I've never seen before.
And positivity. He holds you accountable. I mean, and the fact that he has a track record of being successful in everything he does for the most part, or at least trying to then become successful, that carries a lot of weight as well, right? But then he has the affection and the desire to want to do this job, and then will do it to the best of his ability in that facet. Man, that's incredible to me.
And I believe the fact that he got the spotlight on him. We'll take you off in a moment, Sheik. I know you're probably wanting to say something, but he's got the spotlight on himself. And the spotlight proves that this black man is actually fighting for other young black men. And whereas most coaches don't have that spotlight, and most white coaches or any other coach really are fighting for wins. It's a great difference. We're in the sales industry, me and Ace. It's a great difference when you have someone who says, I want to see you work hard, and then somebody else who say, I only want to see results. You have to have the results, no doubt about it. But work hard, I got to go ahead and, give a lot of props to that. And so Deion saying, forget the wins. He's not even concerned about the wins. I think he's concerned about making young men winners. And that's the result. You get wins out of that. Yashika.
I just think he's building confidence, and his track record proves that he is hope. Can't be hype, because if it was just hype, then Jackson State wouldn't be so successful. So it's just hope all the way.
Oh, I'm with hope. I 100% agree. But what's to come? I mean, right now Deion Sanders is 2-0. He beat TCU, which was a top-ranked team. He beat Nebraska, which was an unbeatable team. At least they didn't think so. If he wins out, what is there to come from that? If he loses out from here on out, what is there to come from that?
A mini series. They got to do it 30. They got to do it 30 for 30. Period, point blank. They got to do it 30 for 30 on Deion. And one thing I want to say is what makes him so dangerous to me is he got some boys believing in themselves. He got a whole team that completely believes in themselves, and that's what makes them dangerous.
Kind of going back to the hype a little bit, I think there is hype around Deion because he's Deion Sanders, right? So we have to definitely acknowledge the fact that there's hype because Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. So he gets a lot of media attention because of who he is. But because of who he is, he's allowed to do the hype, the whole part a whole lot better, in my opinion. To answer your question, though, I think if he doesn't win another game, kind of going back to what you said about the results piece of it. He may not have a job in 2 or 3 years. However, he still has put a lot of stuff into these young men that's going to carry on way past their football careers. Because some might go to the NFL, the majority of them would not. They're still going to be successful somewhere else, likely, and highly because of what Diaz doing for him right now. People in the past has done for them. But if he wins, he's secure jobs at Colorado and many other places, other colleges, other colleges that could be high profile. And possibly, maybe one day he may become an NFL coach. I don't know. I don't think that he will, but he might. But it's going to afford him more opportunities. Put it like that if he wins out.
So do y'all think that we can get a Must Be the Money Part 2 or a remix? Y'all don't think that's?
I hope not.
Okay. Hey, that was my jam. I don't know if my partner on here tonight or not, but we used to bump that when we used to roll.
Oh, really? I didn't have nothing else to. Your mom wouldn't let you buy Snoop Dogg? I mean,
hey, that was prime time, baby.
Hey, he sold 3 CDs and y'all bought 2 of them.
Yeah, that's what I said. If he sold 3 CDs, we bought 2 of them. That was prime time, baby.
Hey, can I ask a quick question about his sons though? He got Shador and Shallow both on his team right now, right? Shador, everybody knows Shador is a starting quarterback. Shallow, am I mistaken? I think he graduated from Jackson State, or he's a 5th-year player, one of the two, right? The fact that he got his son that's already succeeded in his collegiate educational background, right, and continue to further that, follow him to Colorado, and his other son follow him to Colorado. That speaks to me too. That his lineage has bought into what he says preach at the same time. Yeah. So I think that if they didn't, they would say something to me one way, like, "Oh, my son don't believe in me, but I'm gonna preach this to other people's kids." You know what I mean? So I think that go hand in hand, honestly.
And they both performing at a high level as well. So that speaks volumes. That's, hey man, it's a perfect mixture of hype and hope, I guess, because they showed a picture of the stands last year. And they showed a picture of the stand this year. Last year, you can tell who made the churros. You can see the logos on the churros last year.
I tell you what's interesting. It's a wonderful thing when you have 60, 70, 100,000 people that jump on your back. It makes that hype or that hope even more strong.
Kardashians can handle it. Oh, you talking about the bandwagon? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was it wasn't your best. I mean, it wasn't the worst. One time you told something about dogs, and I don't know. It wasn't your best.
Hey, listen. Don't let your bow ass go. We'll talk about that later.
rebrandUS. It's motivating, inspiring. It's a conversation that needs to be had. It's Adrian, the Ace Stinson.
If you're not gonna help, don't hurt.
Eric Russell.
We need financial literacy. We also need to get over this level of fear that we have.
Anthony Goodson.
That my ancestors, whether they were slaves, innovators, or the first blacks to do something, their lives had a purpose.
It's unique to any other podcast. It's Rebrand You, Rebrand Me. It's rebrandUS.
Want to bring that curb appeal back to your home or business? Let us help you. Call Ace Power Washing at 469-337-4080 or email us at powerwashingace3@gmail.com. Whether it's sidewalks, driveways, house or building washing, we'll take care of it. Call or email today for your free quote. We'll see you soon.
I love that promo. Why'd you leave midget up there so long on the promo?
I took
You didn't want it to be a short time up there?
Wow. and wonder everybody in that category. That'd be interesting to see.
I don't know. Some people ain't well. We got at least one of them on the show right now. It's a word in all black. We got.
I think he had some problems. Should be coming back in here in just a little bit. Anyway, let's moving right along with the subject, y'all. We having a good time tonight. Hey, we appreciate the comments. Y'all keep bringing these comments in. If y'all have any topics y'all want to talk about tonight, we're open. We're ready. All right. How do we separate ourselves, or do we separate blacks from? This is one of the topics of ACE.
Okay.
The N word.
Let me put it.
Repeat it again.
It's at the bottom. It's scrolling at the bottom. How do we separate ourselves, or do we separate ourselves from black people from the N-word people?
We had a whole show about that word. You can say it. Sorry. Go ahead, Ace.
Oh, that's a question that I imposed. I wanted to ask y'all, how do you feel? So, how do we do it, or do we do it? Do y'all feel that it's necessary that at some point we have to separate ourselves?
I think it's like flour that goes into a sifter, right? If you're baking and you're putting the flour in the sifter, I think eventually some flour that's a little more clunky is going to stay in the filter. The ones that's more fine is going to get through the filter and go down to the paper, right? So I think it's kind of how we are as people, and whether it's the N word, whether it's another denounced word that people use to describe racial barriers or whatever case it be. I think it all just boils down to what people use as their filters and what people use as qualities of people who they want to be around, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, whatever case it may be, right? So I think those things determine whether we separate ourselves or not. I don't think we do it intentionally. I think the culture sometimes dictates that we want to be called these things, but I don't think necessarily we do it intentionally, personally.
Well, just like whenever you're making a cake of flour and you putting that flour through that sifter, I think at the end of you shaking it or whatever, you tap to the side too to try to get even more. I mean, there is no separation. What you try to do is you make your people better. You know what I mean? Like the N-word, these people are a part of who we are. In fact, we need some of that in some of us. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my mom the other day about my sister. My sister's very bold. She'll say whatever's on her mind, and she don't even play. And so people know when she's around, it's not playtime. It's time to be, be within her restrictions anyways. And so I think that I would like to have a whole lot more of that. And it takes a whole lot of N-word to accomplish that piece. So let's bring Yashika in. Let's see what Yashika has to say about the question at the bottom. How do we separate ourselves, or do we separate ourselves, black people, from the N-word? Black people.
She's flabbergasted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of N-word are we talking about.
That's a good point. I think you got to define that.
What kind of N-words are there?
Well, okay. I think me personally, can I say this real fast? Because what Anthony said kind of threw me off a little bit too in regards to like we need a whole bunch of N-word. N-word to me means ignorant and not very well educated. That's what the N-word means to me. Right. But it could be something else for other people. I think it's important to define what that is.
I define N-word as the folks making us look bad on social media. The people that's holding us back. Every time something good happens, we get a post and it just takes us all the way back. The girl who just claimed she got hit with a brick, the Carly Russells, the people that's fighting and shooting on social media, the people fighting in the store and acting crazy and stuff like that. It's like I just really think they hurting.
So are you saying? Let's go to the comment, then I'll say what I have to say. Somebody says it's about mentorship and being your brother's keeper. Leonard says, so you're saying there's levels to the N-word, Yashika. Let me ask you this.
Levels? What?
Dude, all right, nigga is the word we're using, okay? I'm saying
Can you say that on
we're on Facebook. They let us do far worse. But are niggas all the time?
I don't know. If we got levels, somebody might say, now that's a tier 3 nigga right there.
I think it is because I think people. I mean, some of the people you mentioned, Ace, I
like that.
Some of them make mistakes, and some of them really are niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do things consistently, then to me that makes you not very using your best part of your brain, right? But if you make a mistake here and there, like most people do, you just happen to do it in the social media world where it's caught on tape. That's different. That's different kind to me.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the mistakes. Like, I'm not talking about like people just made a mistake and it got caught on social media. So I'm not talking about people like OJ and stuff like that. I'm talking about the people who just on there just acting a plum fool, and that's their way of life. It's like that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like just the pure ignorance and stuff like that. So I guess the people you talking about with the accident stuff, Eric, I guess that'll be a tier 1. That'll be a tier 1. The accidental nigga. That. Oh, was I? I'm sorry. Was I, nigga?
Hey, look, I know it's that too, bro.
Hey, I'll pick that up. I'm sorry.
When I say that, like, yeah, it's on now.
It took everything in me to
for our rebrandUS family that follow the show and been following us, for the record, Eric holds the record on her for nigga in the nigga word.
Hey, listen, we used to not say the word, and we don't normally say it. We say if it's a show about it, we'll say it. But Eric said it before we made it a show about it.
Hey, we have to be clear about. I was trying to be concise about what I was trying to explain at the time. So go back in the archives, look at that show. You'll see why I said it. I had to say it. I felt like I had to say it.
So yeah, sure. Let's be clear. The N word is for black people because it wasn't. If it wasn't, we would say it around white people and wouldn't get mad if white people say it. However, I say it, but I don't say it in the racial connotation. So I guess it depends on the use. Right on, and Toria Wright, my one and only sister. All right, y'all.
Okay.
I mean, I really think that's a pretty tough question right there. The bottom of it says, how do we separate ourselves, or do we separate ourselves, black people and the N-word people? I think we're back to that.
And one of the concerns is, so this is one of my concerns that I have, and this one thing that heats me up. We raise our children, we raise our sons and our daughters, and we raise them to be good people. We try to raise them with morals, we try to raise them with values, we try to tell them how to present yourself in public, just how to be a good person, right? And you look on social media and there's a tier 3 that's funny. You gotta turn back. Come on, niggas. But you look on social media and you got this stupid, ignorant person, robbing a store or running in, grabbing stuff or doing whatever they do. And now all other races do it too. But I'm talking about us that's getting caught on camera doing it all the time. And you looking, and they look just like our sons and our daughters. They wear the same hairstyles, the same clothes, and all our black boys, they looking alike right now because it's the culture, it's the style. They wearing those type of clothes and those hairstyles and stuff like that. And the scary part of that is society can't differentiate and they can't separate. So you got a good child, you have a good kid that doesn't get that second chance, or they don't get that doubt. They don't get that moment of doubt. Maybe that isn't a bad person because they're looking just like the images that you see on TV, and that's what I don't like.
Well, let's go to the comments. Because the Bible says that what the devil meant for the bad, the Lord will turn around for good. So maybe, just maybe, you niggas are good.
Oh yeah, this probably StreamYard gonna act like they don't know us next time you try to log in.
But y'all know what's very interesting is
like, nigga.
It's unfortunate that we put that label on us, and white people do it too. But Mexicans do it. If you see some people who you don't, who is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Pleasing to you, I should say. You call them niggas. They're not pleasing to you. White folks, they call them trailer park trash or whatever kind of trash they may call them. Mexicans call them, wetbacks or whatever they call them. I've heard this term used time and time again, simply because they don't meet up to your standards, perhaps. So I think it's a very necessary. I don't know why he left. Did I say something offensive?
No, I'm just basking in this last show, just taking it all in, remembering the good times.
I think it's very necessary to understand who you calling that word. That's a very tough, and not for a term of endearment, like when you just going around saying it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you actually use that word for our own people, who you really have to understand who it is. You got a whole lot of black people in jail. You got a lot of niggas that are free, and so that's kind of how I see that.
I honestly like the separation piece. I don't think it comes from like calling people certain names or things like that. I think we separate people no matter what color you are by finances and your ability to pay for stuff and your ability to provide or your ability to go get the newest whatever case may be, right? So I think that's more a separation that comes even in black folk. I think we separate each other by what we can afford a lot of times, unfortunately. So
I agree.
Well, it's a class
Joanne,
thing.
we need you on next week. Joanne, you are on next week. You have been summoned. She said, I work in a school. If I hear students, I address and tell them we're not that, and we all have first and last names. In other words, you cannot use that in her school in Rockwall. I think she's in Rockwall. I've noticed that people that are 35 and up utilize the word more than the younger generations do. 35 and up, black folk use the word more than the younger generation because these young Mexicans, they use it like it's water. The younger generations have replaced the N word with bruh. Hey, I like that comment. They even call their girlfriends and everything, bruh. I like that.
Mama's bruh.
I don't think the world holds any value to us anymore, and that's why it's used so loosely. You know what's the funny part about it is we've had a show about this, Yashika, and I think the word is promoted. We say it everywhere, every song, every book, every movie, everywhere it must be said if black people in it which is funny because if it's a black movie, all black cast, usually you don't hear it. But if it's a white movie with a black cast, you might hear it a little bit more.
You'll watch some and they'll bleep out every single word. Dude be talking, yeah, that bloop, 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 and that bloop, 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 bloop. You know what I'm saying, nigga? It's like, well, damn, they couldn't hit it one more time. They couldn't hit the button one more time.
Not quite. I have something, fellas.
Okay.
I haven't said it. Just everybody that's taking account. I haven't said it. Okay, because I don't do stuff like that. But I don't say stuff like that. I don't do that. But what I've seen just here tonight, especially because this is the last show, right? It rolls off y'all's tongue like butter.
No, well, I have to let you know.
What do you say?
Now, what we say a lot of time is scripted, so we pre.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we good actors.
Yeah, great actors.
Yeah, we're actors.
Yeah.
What's my motivation?
Non-blacks use it or give themselves N-word passes. Then the black students are up in arms about it. How about no one use it with the hard ER or an A? Hey, look, I got Joanne. You're gonna be on next week, by the way. I did say that. I have a documentary coming out about that next year, so be on the lookout. Mm-hmm. It's called N-word. It was what we call it. Something else. Anyway,
what is it?
I like that concept.
Selective racism. As black people, we pick and choose what offends us.
That rolls right into what we were just talking about. Exactly. The selective racism. We pick and choose what offends us. Like I said, other races say the N-word all day long. The little partners and your little homies and stuff like that say it all day long. But if a politician says it, it's taboo. If a police officer says it, it's taboo. But all your non-black homeboys said, and it's cool. Non-black rapper says it, and it's cool. So why do we pick and choose when we're offended? When it all should be offensive.
One of the things that offends me as a black person is when another black person says something that's offensive but true, but it's to lift you up. Like when Bill Cosby was saying, man, pick up your pants and do this and do that. And Bill Cosby was saying all this stuff, and all of a sudden, he done made it. Now he think he ain't one of us. Wait a minute. What he said is true, though. And so that offends me. Chica, go ahead. I hear you talking.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Everybody got mad at him, but you do need to pick your pants. You do need to do that stuff. People got so mad at him.
He tried to give us an option. He was like red or green pill.
Yeah,
pick one.
And then then nobody was taking him seriously after what's his name.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of a selective racism type situation from us. And I don't think that a black person can be racist. I think it's more selective anger, whatever, but not that. Let's go to the comments. Let's see it. And Tori Wright says, I'm glad you brought up entertainment, Dickie, because that's me, by the way. Because without black entertainment industry would be gone. Think about it. Look at Jack Harlow. Who's Jack Harlow? He came.
Don't know. Oh, no. He on a KFC cup.
Musician or something.
Okay, became famous. Without us, and Tiger Woods, same way. Anytime you see one thing that we've never really talked about on this show. We're gonna have to do this, Shika. This will be a really good one. We've never talked about interracial relationships. We've never done it before. And how we feel about that. I guess Ace.
He think, man, we gonna be on this week, dog. Don't worry about it.
That's gonna be a tough one because you got a lot of people who might get offended. If we speak in facts and stuff like that, I think that you have some people who might get offended because they feel like they got to protect their loved one.
Well, the reason why I bring it up is because you're talking about selective racism,
right?
Because 2023, I'm gonna ask each and every one of y'all, and I want y'all to give me an honest opinion. Like when I was a kid. When I was 10, we'll go back to 1987. When I was a kid, if I saw an interracial couple, I would stare until they were gone, till they wasn't there anymore. It was the most interesting thing. I still do the same thing with midgets, but also I would stare at gay people the same way. I didn't see them.
Show. It's the last show.
but seriously,
maybe now.
In 2023, when I see an interracial relationship.
Wait, before you go, are we talking interracial midgets or just because they're midgets?
I'm talking normal height, black, white.
Okay. I was just trying to clarify because they have the right to be. They got the right to be discriminated against like everybody else. So I just didn't know if it was just them or the interracial ones. So what about an interracial midget couple?
I can't.
Would you have to put both hands on your face like you'd be like Macaulay Culkin?
Oh, that would be a good topic. Let's do that next week. Oh, that must be Joanne. I have two black boots, and I want to date within our own race. I have two black boots, and I want them to date.
Boys.
Oh, should that be boys? Okay.
Oh, that's the slang for boys. Hey, what's up, my boots?
I thought it was a joke, to be honest with you. I was gonna wait till I got there.
That's that auto. That's that auto correct.
That's your sister again. She's typing too fast. That's all.
Wait, you gotta read the comment.
I'm gonna let you read it. Go ahead.
We stopped at boots. I have two black boots. And I want them to date within our own race because I want to make sure they are protected in a way another race can't. You got to get the steel toe. Okay. Go ahead with your comment. Good. So what you say?
Do you remember? Do you remember your comment, Anthony? I don't remember this. I have no idea.
I can understand that. I can understand that. And the protection piece, that's big. Hey, I'm on your side. I'm bringing your comment to life.
Oh my God.
No, I understand exactly what she's saying. It's a fear factor there, the protection piece, especially with our young black men. I want everybody to live and I want everybody to love whoever they want. But the reality of things, sometimes it is kind of scary. Just because of things that we know go on and the possibility of things. That is a scary thing to me.
But is it the same today? Is it the same today as it was in 1990?
Yeah, look at the NBA.
I think it's much more accepted now, and just I don't think nowhere near as the same in 1990 as it is today. I think it was there, but it was more hidden. And now it's everywhere.
I was a little scared. Eric, I thought a ghost had got him. I know.
My laptop tripping a little bit.
Go back and look at the 49th minute whenever you watch this later on. All right, let's go to the comments. It says, can y'all do this one next week? This needs to be an entire hour.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make that next week. We'll talk about this. So let's skip over this and get back to the midgets. So getting the short end of the. Y'all want to talk about that? Man, I thought we had a show going on. Man, y'all tripping.
Okay, well, all right, y'all. So, pretty good topic. We talked about Deion Sanders today. Any more about Deion? And I say that because to me, I feel like that's the lasting impression we should make on a show like this. Deion has done some really great things, and as we get ready to close out, I think that's really the last impression that we should make. I think somebody just put a comment in here. Let me take a look. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up. It says old TV shows. What effects did the Cosby Show have on the culture? I guess Eric was having some issues.
He didn't like that. Dang, he didn't Bill Cosby like that.
All right, so I'll go ahead and do this. We'll do this last topic, and then we'll go ahead and end the show. But it says right here, old TV shows. What effect did the Cosby Show have on the culture? How did it affect you, Martin, my wife and kids, Jamie Foxx, Joe Black, his Grownies, etc.? Yashika?
Success. You know, the how successful the parents were on the Cosby Show, how supportive they was for each other. For those that didn't have that were in a single parent home and didn't have really that look on how a man should treat a woman or a woman should treat a man, or how family dynamics should be in the Black community, not necessarily what we saw as a kid that could have been, toxic or just dysfunctional. To be able to watch something that wasn't dysfunctional, I think it was education. It was helpful. Success. Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful answer, because for me, and you said from a single parent home, so you're looking at from what you wasn't getting. You didn't get a double parent home. I'm assuming your mom wasn't a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. In my household, I live in a double parent home, but neither one of my parents were doctors and lawyers, so that's what I saw. You know what I mean? I noticed the doctor lawyer side. I noticed all the kids had the same parents, which I was in that same situation. I noticed that. Here comes Eric. One thing that I noticed is the success and the conversations that they talked about in the house, like the Cosby Show. Jamie Foxx show, to me, I've never seen Blackish, but Jamie Foxx show is just buffoonery, if you ask me, just like Martin. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I enjoyed watching it, but I didn't learn anything from it. It's just buffoonery. My wife and kids was similar to that, but it was also similar to the Cosby Show. So the Cosby Show really taught me quite a bit as a man. I use an analogy that Bill Cosby used on the show one time about introduction of people in the wrong way, where he says, take a steak, take a potato, that's your favorite meal, gravy all on it, real nice and sauteed, but they introduce you really bad. And so what they do is they serve it to you on a trash can lid. And of course, you got to know a little bit more about that. But I use that all the time because that analogy, that wisdom, that knowledge comes from the Cosby Show. That's what I got a lot of my stuff from. Anyway, let's go to the comments and I'll let y'all answer that as well. The show exposed us to success, middle class, rich Black families, not living in poverty or rags to riches story. It inspired many to consider HBCUs. I think HBCUs went up extremely high. And then what's the show? Living Single, I believe.
A Different World.
No, Living Single. After that show went on, and Maxine, who was a Black female lawyer?
Oh yeah.
She came through. I think there were more Black female lawyers that came after her. Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
I saw something interesting. I was looking at somebody, they were doing an interview with some of the people who used to work on the Cosby Show. And they said the crazy part is that we knew they were rich, but if you look at it, the show didn't focus on them being rich. But what the show did was show you a Black family when money wasn't an issue. Money was out of the way. They were just able to live. There wasn't any stress. It wasn't any drama, anything like that. They were just able to actually just live. And I think that's a real important thing that the show did.
And the Cosby Show, I don't really remember that show focusing at any point, the Cosby Show that is, on race at all. There was never an issue of race on that show. So, just normal life for a normal family, a normal people. And you can get past all the obstacles that people have, to me, is really what that show represented. And that show is probably as far as I'm concerned, it's the biggest show as far as lessons are concerned.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You can only get one by Denise Huxtable.
But you do know there was a Gordon Gartrell who was the producer, I believe, of this show. That's his name, Gordon Gartrell.
Oh, that's where they got the name from.
Yeah.
Well, he has an iconic shirt. You know, one of my favorite, one of my things, quotes from Bill Cosby is, you know, don't mind the fizzle. You know, it's just like don't worry about what's going on. Just do where I'm guiding you to. You know, that's the inside joke, y'all. Don't worry.
And I would agree with everything you guys said about the Cosby Show, but I think about the show Blackish, right? Because it's similar in a way of the family structure, I guess, as the Cosby Show, where they had man, woman, married, and then 4 kids? When it ended up being 4 kids eventually, right? So. And money wasn't an issue with them either. Well, it was a couple episodes, but that's because of their jobs or whatever it can be. But overall, money wasn't an issue with them either. But the difference between the Blackish and the Cosby Show to me was they all the issues of today's society they brought up, and they hit it head on, like literally hit it head on with their perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So you can see all sides of it, honestly. So it was really cool to see that in a show. But I think it can have the same impact as a Cosby Show if you allow it to, right? Because if you go and look at Martin and says buffoonery and you're going to be entertained, that's cool right there, right? But he was entertaining, but if you can learn from something, why not learn from it as well while you're being entertained? And I think that's what you can do about books and stuff with movies. You can learn from things like that, even if you're being entertained. But
I think the Cosby Show set the foundation, but in my opinion, I think there can be a strong argument made that Blackish may be the best sitcom to me, period. And I know some other people like The Office and Friends and stuff like that. Now, because I think The Office, Goodson had me. I watched a few episodes, last stuff, but I think Blackish it may be the best. Now, I know people might argue, but when I say it may be the best, it's because they learned from everybody else, and then they applied it with their own. So it's not like Blackish is better than the Cosby Show. When I say it may be the best, because they learned from the Cosby Show, they learned from Martin and my wife and kids, and they mixed it all up, and I
think the issue I don't have any issues with Blackish. I've never seen it before, so I have no.
So that's your issue. You ain't even turned it on.
But here's the thing. And America is young relatively, and television is even younger, right? So when you put all that together, I think when the Cosby Show came out, it's very early stages of really not really the early stages of television, not like 1930s or anything, but it's kind of early, and so having Black people in your house, in your own house, in white folks' house, in the rest of the country's house, was teaching us a lot of stuff. So they were telling us in good times how Black people lived. Right. And so it was okay. It was accepted. It was from the white perspective. And then we saw the Jeffersons, but we knew that was far-fetched. At least they made it seem far-fetched. It wasn't even really a reality show. It wasn't about you can actually do this. It was just humor, and it was just so happened to be Black. And it was a spinoff. The one thing I love about the Cosby Show, yes, they did have a spinoff, which was Different World, but the spinoff had just as much positivity and shooting just as much good vibes, I guess, as the original, which was the Cosby Show. And a lot grew in those early stages of television for Black people. So 1984 all the way around 92, 93, whenever those shows went off, that was the foundation. And the unfortunate part about it now is we couldn't have that today, even though you say Blackish, but Blackish came at the tail end, I believe, because people don't watch TV like they used to. Everyone's watching Netflix and movies and soap today. I probably shouldn't have said that one. And Hulu and all these things. So we're very selective, and we don't have a wide variety of people. The Cosby Show come on, you have 50 million people watching every Thursday night. Blackish comes on, it trickles off, and anything that comes on today, you got far, far less. Not enough people are sitting and having family time watching television. To me, that's the reason why the Cosby Show is such an important part of our history.
When you mention those people, they haven't paid their sponsor dollars, so we can't be mentioning those networks.
Somebody said, "Nah, for real, Rock was hitting. Yeah, even though he was a trash man, It was
Some
hitting.
good
All right, y'all. We
listening.
thank y'all very much for this show. It's been a lot of fun. Yashika, we're gonna get you on a whole lot more next week. I know you're having issues with with your sound over there. But first,
Hey, yo, Ace, who do we have on the show next week?
I'm discussing the topics that have to deal with the black family. So you know the food or the drink is good when the person says swallow instead of swallow. We're going to have an interview with librarians with Tourette syndrome. And the name of the show is going to be titled Breaking the Rules. So we will have their mics muted most of the time. Married couples that swing at the playground. Are they confused or just risk takers? Giggity, giggity. We'll see how that goes. You know,
Adrian, the Ace Stinson, and the rest of the rebrandUS crew live Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central on YouTube and Instagram at rebrandUS Podcast, Facebook at rebrandUS, or rebrandUS.org.
I work too hard. Look, I work too hard for this stuff, man.
I got a question. Is it librarians or is it librarian? That don't matter. Eric, it's on you.
Hey yo, what's up, Ace? Come on. Hey yo, Ace, who's on this week, bro?
Hold on. Let me mute Eric. Yashika, what I'm gonna need you to do is just say these words. Hey yo, Ace, who we got next? Because
he done muted himself. You done muted yourself talking about muting E.
Indeed. Okay, Ace.
He's real Mark Anthony these days. Yashika, all you have to do is say, hey yo, Ace, who do we have on the show next week?
I got it. Hey, yo, Ace, what we got next week?
She botched the word. She botched it.
Oh, no? That wasn't it? Come on.
Go ahead, Ace. Go on this week, bro.
That's all right. That's all right. I get the gist of things, you know, because let's go ahead and get this show over with. We've used a ton of nomenclatures throughout this period. But keeping in you know the same waves as we've been going for the show, interviewing a couple of people next week. There's some interesting people. We're talking about race relations, so we're going to be interviewing prejudiced zookeepers. Title of the show going to be I Ain't Feeding That Monkey Shit.